How to handle a child with behavioral issues. Hey there, I'm Charlotte with Colorful Teaching for You. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, more often than not, children who exhibit unexpected behaviors aren't doing it just because they're lazy or they're angry. Some might, but most of the time, that's not the case. For the most part, it could be because the child is having trouble regulating their emotions. Perhaps they have internal or external needs or factors that aren't being met, or they could be exhibiting learned behavior from someone else, whether the person is trusted or not. It could be a peer, but they're exhibiting those learned behaviors. Or there could be some form of mental health condition. A child might be at a different developmental stage, or they could be neurodevelopmental. There's just a variety of reasons, and the important thing is to remember to keep the why or the reason for a child's behavior in mind when we approach today's video or article. Remember that your child, when your child is exhibiting these needs or these behaviors, it's not because they need someone to help them stop. Yes, they do need that, but it's also what they really are looking for are the tools to help them through their emotions, through their thought process, so that they have the ability to stop their behavior or their anger in advance before it gets out of control. So let's look at ways that we can do that with your child, okay? The first step, it's simple. I know you probably know this, but it's really hard to do. I get it because I've been there. The first step is to keep your cool. So here I'm really stressing this out, and I put this first because if you are faced with a child that's really angry or a child that's having a meltdown and you come in just getting angry with them, they're going to feed off of this frustration of yours, and it's just going to make a situation that could be managed a lot more unmanageable. And so we want to be able to calm down first. So if you are able to do it in the moment, great, but if you can't, just make sure your child is in a different room, in a safe space, and then walk away and calm yourself down. It's okay to walk away, okay? Make sure you're calm and then approach your child. The next step is to teach emotional regulation. If you need to walk away, this would actually be a great time for your child to work through their emotions. But you obviously have to teach this to them ahead of time, and you want to teach this to them not in that moment when they're having an outburst, or when something is going on, but before any of this happens. So you want to teach them how to manage their emotions, how to understand their emotions, what the emotions are, what their triggers are. There's a lot of different things that you want to teach them, and you want to be able to keep track of all of this as well, right? So what you're going to be doing is going to the link in the description where it says full episode, go to step number 2, and I've differentiated different resources based on age for the moment, but you're going to choose the one that best suits the developmental stage of your child, okay? It gives you a step-by-step format about how to create a safe space for your child, how to help them learn to use this space, understand their emotions, how to self-regulate in different environments, and it also gives you a step-by-step teaching guide, so you don't have to prep anything in advance besides creating the space. And it also allows you to monitor their growth over time. All right, so that's step number 2. Number 3 is to find the reason. As I mentioned earlier, it's really important to figure out why your child is behaving the way they are, because if you don't, you're only going to be putting a band-aid on a problem without knowing what's going on, and in time this band-aid will come off and the matter will get worse. So I want you to really focus on why your child is behaving the way they are, and talk to them about it. Now, if they don't want to talk right away, especially older children, you might feel like you're hitting a brick wall right there. But I want you to just sit with them and let them know that you're there for them no matter what, and that you are going to take care of them. Okay? Because you want to build that trust over time. Children need to feel safe with whoever it is that they're talking to, be it be it their guardians or be it a teacher, they need to feel safe before they can open up to you. So on a regular basis, make sure they know that you are there for them. And that way, in time, you'll start to chip away at that ice and they will start to open up to you. It might take a long time, but you'll get there, okay? And the fourth one is to engage in positive discipline. I know a lot of people wonder, positive discipline, because it doesn't go hand in hand with the word discipline, but we're not focused so much on punish, 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 punish. We're looking at, again, why did you behave this way and how can I support you so that it doesn't keep happening, okay? So what you want to do is, before we even get into discipline, I want you to look at, if at all possible, what did your child do right before they lost control of their emotions? Did they walk away, or at least did they try to walk away? Did they take a couple of deep breaths before they started getting angry, before they did something that was not positive, not good? Did they do anything at all, even the smallest thing? I want you to find that and praise them for it. And the reason for this is not because we're trying to shelter the children. We are trying to get them to listen to what we have to say. Because when a parent or a teacher comes at a child and just blames them for everything without knowing what's going on, and just hits them with punishment, they are going to shut down, and that's not what we want. So we want them to say, oh, they noticed, right? And then once there's a sense of pride in, I didn't mess up completely, then they'll be a little bit more receptive, and that's when we can sit down and say, hey, these are more appropriate ways that we can behave. These are my expectations for how we behave in our classroom or in our home or when we go out, right? We want to set very clear expectations, and if you already have expectations that have been set, then I want you to go back and remind them about this. At this point, you can say, okay, for these expectations, well, we are going to have some consequences, whether they're natural consequences or these are ones that you come up with, right? But the consequences need to actually meet, they need to actually match, the problem. For example, if your child has thrown toys around the room, well, we can't just take away, screen time, because that seems to be one of the go-tos for a lot of parents. That's not going to work because there's no connection, and your child's not going to listen because they don't see that connection. There's no relevance or reason for it, right? But if you take away playtime, or like a certain amount of it, or if you take away specific toys because they're not cleaning up or they're getting really angry about it, that's when they start to say, oh, well, but this could be at home or in a classroom, right? If I don't do this, then if I throw my toys, I don't get playtime. If I throw these toys, well, next time he or she is going to take this away from me, right? I'm not going to have these toys to play with. If I break my toys, well, they're gone, and no one's going to buy me anything new, right? If you may want to help them clean up if they're very young, though, or you may want to help fix it if they're very young, but they are doing it alongside you for very young children. For older ones, it's nice to help because you want to show them that you're there with them, but the onus is on them, okay? But the ultimate thing there is we want to set our expectations. So we praise, we set expectations, and we figure out the consequences that match those expectations. All right? So we've talked about a lot of different things here. So what we've done, we're going to do a recap really quickly, is we've looked at why it's important to understand the way a child behaves. We have looked at how to handle a child when they are exhibiting unexpected behaviors. And we've looked at, number 1 is keep your cool. Number 2 is teach emotional regulation. Number 3 is find the reason. And number 4 is to engage in positive discipline. If you'd like to know more about this, or if you want the written version of this, please check out the link in the description that says full episode, and if you scroll all the way to the bottom, I have a freebie for you. So check out the link in the description. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining me. Remember to create, experience, and teach from the heart. Take care, my friends, and I will see you again, same place, same time next week. Bye.